Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we want to look at Rivian and Apple, of course. There's rumors once again. People think that Apple should buy Rivian. And to be honest, I can't disagree. I think Apple and Rivian would work perfectly together. It would be perfect synergy. For the most important thing, the major investors into Rivian, such as Ford and Amazon, they're American companies. And so is Apple. Considering the fact that Rivian is either at fair value at the moment, given their stock price, or at least perhaps a little bit undervalued given how fast this company is moving. They produced over 57,000 vehicles in 2023. Compare that with 2022, they only did around 20,000 vehicles. So this company has more than doubled their production. In fact, they've almost tripled their production. That's remarkable. Not to mention, the companies that Apple are associated with, they tend to have a clean portfolio, clean reputation. And I must say, Rivian does have a Apple-like DNA. It has an Apple-like reputation. It has a relatively clean reputation. You can't say the same thing about Tesla. You cannot say the same thing about Lucid. You can't necessarily say the same thing about Fisker. You can say something similar about Polestar. Polestar has a really clean portfolio as well. Their reputation is really clean. And Apple tends to like that. It's good for publicity. But it is rare that Apple does buy a company. Even when they bought Beats from Dr. Dre, Apple still later created their own headsets, their own headphones. So to be honest, it was almost as if they didn't need Beats because they had their intention to create their own headsets anyway. So the question still rumbles on, why did they buy Beats in the first place anyway? So sometimes some of the things that they do can seem a little bit random, I would say. Sometimes the companies that Apple's buy are a little bit random, but often you don't even hear about these companies. The publicity that they do get, they like to have very great control over the publicity that they do get. They like to control this to their ability. So Rivian is quite clean cut based on everything we've seen so far. So they'll be a really good company to add to the Apple brand. But something tells me Apple perhaps wants to create their own smart car, mostly because they haven't showed much interest in buying another company. They have instead showed more interest in building their own vehicles, and because of the great amount of fund they do have, they think they can do it better. Gary Black advocates for Apple's Rivian acquisition to keep pace with Chinese smartphone manufacturer. Future fund management partner proposes strategic move amidst rise of EVs from tech competitors. In recent statement, Gary Black, managing partner at Future Fund, suggested that Apple should consider acquiring the California-based electric vehicle startup known as Rivian Automotive Inc. This is to counter the growing influence of Chinese smartphone manufacturers entering the automotive market. Can you imagine? Let's just imagine the benefits, the financial benefits, the infrastructure benefits, the business benefits that Rivian could receive from an acquisition with Apple. That would be absolutely incredible. They could build a lot more factories. You know, Rivian would be able to seriously compete with Tesla in that regard. But where Rivian is right now, they're moving relatively slow in terms of building new factories. They are building a new factory in Georgia, I believe. But that's about it. No Canadian factories planned yet. A Canadian factory perhaps wouldn't make a lot of sense for EV companies right now because Canada is not known for being a place for affordable workers. Let's be honest, Canada is actually becoming more and more expensive to even live. That's why Tesla has actually chosen Mexico to build their next factory. That was a smart move because Mexico is starting to become an investment hub for new investment, for new business people, especially the closeness it shares with the USA and with South America, Canada, Brazil, Argentina, Chile. Mexico is in the perfect position to capitalize on the growing market. People are turning away from China and they're looking to invest in a new manufacturing hub, and that seems to be Mexico. Not to mention, Mexico has a huge population of people who are underpaid and they need more jobs. So more jobs are being brought to the country, to a country that people need job. If you can't build a factory in the US, that's where people are looking to build factories. Now, I don't necessarily see Apple building a factory in Mexico, to be honest. They'll rather start building factories in America, utilize the amount of availability you have in different states. Based on what we know about Apple, that's the Apple way of thinking. That's their way of making business work. And to be honest, who can blame them? It does work. The proposal and the potential hurdles. Gary Black recommends that Apple should explore the acquisition of Rivian, valuing the EV startup at an enterprise value of 17.5 billion. However, he acknowledges the potential challenges, highlighting Rivian's tie with Amazon. That's true. If Apple were to approach Rivian, I think there would be perhaps the bidding war. I think this bidding war will most likely be between Apple and Amazon. I would say Ford would probably get involved, but to be honest, I don't think they've got the cash on hand to buy Rivian. I think Ford is more concerned about transferring their own company into a full EV-fledged company, since that's the future. So I think the majority of the fight would be between Apple and Amazon. I can see Jeff Bezos wanting to have his own fully electric car company. In fact, it's a mystery to you and I of why he hasn't fully bought the company already. It is a bit strange to think, why hasn't Amazon bought Rivian already? It would be such a good company for them to hold. Jeff Bezos has his own rocket company, specifically to compete with Elon Musk. Let's be honest, I think Elon Musk was far interested in space technology a lot longer than Jeff Bezos. Elon Musk has been pursuing SpaceX technology for a very long time, early 2000s, I believe, in fact. Jeff Bezos is still a little bit new on the scene. And I think this is one of the reasons why Elon Musk's company, SpaceX, gets preferential treatment when it comes to contracts. But also their technology is just, I don't see Blue Origin doing enough. In fact, they're moving very slow. Blue Origin moves as if urgency is not important. Elon Musk, Tesla, and SpaceX moves as if urgency is the most important component to accomplishing the worldwide trajectoral growth. These are goals that Elon Musk's company intend to hit, while Jeff Bezos, he's a little bit more relaxed. Both men, I don't think they have the same motivation. I don't think they have the same vision. In fact, it's similar, but different. By the looks of it, the Amazon company owns a 17% stake in the Rivian company. This could pose a significant obstacle to any acquisition. Now, the best acquisition will probably be a hostile takeover, but I don't think Apple wants to be involved with a hostile takeover, especially right now, as they're currently being sued for the technology within their watch oxygen sensors. Now, the suggestion comes in response to the recent development in the tech industry, where Chinese smartphone manufacturers such as Xiaomi and Huawei are expanding into electric vehicle sectors. Xiaomi introduces its SU7 sedan, and Huawei introduces its Ito M9 SUV, developed in a collaboration with carmaker Series. Gary Black's recommendation underlines the urgency for Apple to make strategic move in the automotive space to maintain its competitive edge. So what's Apple's history in the auto industry? Rumors supporting Apple's interest in manufacturing a car has circled since mid-2010s. Despite ongoing speculation, the company has not officially disclosed any plan related to the development or production of automobiles. Rivian's performance and potential. As the end of the third quarter, Rivian's delivered 15,564 vehicles globally. So in 2023 alone, Rivian produced over 57,000 vehicles, and the ambitious production target of 54,000 vehicles for the entire year was exceeded in production. Rivian reported a third quarter revenue of $1.337 billion. The company's market cap stands at $22.49 billion. So future outlook for Rivian. Gary Black expressed optimism about Rivian's future, anticipating the company to achieve gross margin positivity by the last quarter of 2024 and to become EBITDA positive by 2026. Now, to be honest, that would be a really good thing if Rivian can become EBITDA positive by 2026. For everyone who's wondering what EBITDA means, it means net interest. It means earning before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. Currently, Rivian stands at a negative in this space. The third quarter last year, they were negative $1 billion in EBITDA. In terms of cash flow, they've been $1 billion in the negative as well. So the question is, can they break cash flow break even, and can they have a positive EBITDA by 2026? Now, this is not too far away. This is 2-3 years away. So it's looking good for Rivian as they work on bringing the R2 platform with R2 vehicles to the market by 2026. Now, personally, I do like the Rivian company. I like what they're doing. I like the vehicles, and I like to invest in this company. And that's not financial advice. It's just my opinion. But that is it for today's video. I would like to see Apple buying this company. If any company buys Rivian, I would like to see Rivian remains its own public company. And I think that's most likely possible. given the fact that most EV companies are public companies today. Even VW is taking a lot of their companies public, such as Porsche. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.